Hi friends, the story for this week's social studies is Where Does the Garbage Go? By Paul Showers, illustrated by Randy Chewing. In our school, we are learning about garbage. Last week our teacher told us about the way things used to be and what we can do to create less garbage and help our environment. She said there was a time when people who wanted to get rid of something just threw it in the garbage can. They threw away old orange peels, eggshells, and the food they didn't eat. They also threw away things like empty bottles and cans, cardboard boxes, and newspapers. If kept separate, a lot of food that is thrown away could be turned into compost, which is helpful for growing plants. Old bottles and newspapers could be recycled and made into new materials. But when these things are all mixed together, it all becomes garbage. Once a week, the garbage was collected in trucks and taken to the dump. In the dump, there were piles of garbage everywhere and all kinds of trash. Old tires, broken bottles, tin cans, old newspapers, and broken chairs and sofas. In summer, the food that was thrown out rotted and made a terrible smell. Rats came to eat it. Millions of flies buzzed around. The dump was a great big mess. At one time, New York City used the ocean for its dump. It loaded its waste on flat boats called barges. Tugboats pulled the barges out to sea, and the waste was dumped overboard. Most of the trash sank, but some of it floated. Poor fish are saying, ugh. Often it floated right back to the beaches where people were swimming. Ugh, yuck. New York City doesn't throw its waste in the ocean anymore. It has a special kind of dump called a landfill. Other cities have landfills too. Our town has one, and our class went out and looked at it. A landfill is a busy place. Trucks bring loads of waste from the city and dump it in big piles. Bulldozers with scrapers spread out the waste. Compactors with spikes on their wheels move back and forth over it. The waste is all mashed and piled. When the last layer of soil is spread on top of a landfill, grass and trees are planted on it. The landfill becomes a park or a playground. When the city has to find a new place to dispose of its garbage after that. Garbage never stops piling up. What's in our landfills? 11% of it is rubber, leather, and fabric. 18% is plastic. 15% is paper. 30% is food and yard waste. 9% is metal. 5% is glass. And 12% is other things. Some cities try to get rid of their waste by burning it. They build big furnaces called incinerators and burn garbage and trash in them. The heat is used to warm stores and offices. It is also used to make electricity. So how does an incinerator work? Trucks bring the garbage. The garbage is fed into the furnace. The furnace burns garbage in about 30 minutes. And then gases from the burning garbage must be carefully cleaned and filtered. Clean gases are released. When incinerators burn our trash, they don't really get rid of everything. There are leftover ash that still has to go to the landfill. Sometimes this ash is toxic or harmful, and sometimes the smoke from the incinerator pollutes the air with harmful gases. Today, cities are having a hard time finding places for new landfills. Waste keeps piling up. People keep throwing things away. They throw away too many things. Some of the things they throw away could be used over again. So each person in the United States creates about 4 pounds of trash every day. One way cities make less garbage is by recycling. Recycling means making trash into something new instead of throwing it away. Almost half of the trash we throw away could be recycled. Look for the recycling symbol on glass, paper, metal, and plastic containers that can be recycled. My family tries to recycle as much as we can. We turn old fruits, vegetables, and grass clippings into compost for our yards. We keep garbage like glass bottles, aluminum cans, newspapers, and foil separate from the food waste. We put the cans and bottles at the curb. We pile old newspapers beside them. We flatten our cardboard boxes and pile them next to the newspapers to be picked up for recycling each week. When the garbage truck comes, it picks up only the garbage and takes it out to the landfill. Other trucks come for the bottles and cans and newspaper. Those things don't go to the landfill anymore. Our city sells them to factories and mills for recycling. Paper mills chop up old newspaper and turn them into new paper. Paper is shredded into pulp. Pulp is washed and bleached. Water is drained from the pulp. The paper is dried and rolled. Aluminum factories take aluminum cans and foil and melt them to make new cans and rolls for foil. So the cans are chopped. Paint is taken off from the metal, and then the scraps are melted in a furnace, and melted aluminum is poured into molds. Glass bottles are ground up and melted to make new glass bottles in jars. Even plastic can be recycled. Plastic factories chop it up and turn it into things like flower pots and park benches. Our teacher says recycling is a good start, but we must do more. We must stop making so much waste. We must stop throwing so many things away. We need to find ways to use things over and over again. That's what we have done at home. We used to bring our groceries home in paper and plastic bags. When we emptied the bags, we threw them away in the garbage can. When we did that, we were just making more waste to pile up in the landfill. We have stopped doing that. Now we use reusable bags. They hang on the kitchen doorknob. When we go to the supermarket, we take our reusable bags and put our groceries in them. Our reusable bags are strong and hold a lot of groceries. We use them over and over again. So what I'd like to challenge you to do is keep track of how many bags of trash your family makes in 1 week. And then we're gonna check in next Thursday during our social studies time to talk about it. Have a good day. Bye.